Palermo's winning lineup includes Primo Thin, Neighborhood Pizzeria, Urban Pie, Connie's, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza and proud partner of your Green Bay Packers.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Animals need friends. For a list of 10 easy things you can do to brighten their lives, please write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's Peter, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
The following is an exclusive sports presentation of the Big 920, thebig920.com, and the iHeartRadio app. WOKY, Milwaukee.
It's time for Wisconsin race fans to gather round. You are locked in on 90 minutes of nothing but motorsports. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for complete coverage of the Wisconsin racing scene and the world of motorsports. This is our 37th season of the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, how are you? Good to see you. Glad to be heard, glad to be seen at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This is the Racing Roundup Show. Welcome, racing crowd. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're outside Turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile, where things will be going on this weekend. More on that on this program. We're racing at the Mile this weekend, racing at Road America, the Indy Cars this weekend. There's a lot going on with the short track scene. We got it covered for you in the next 90 minutes. We're live tonight on the Big 920 and the Big920.com, and we're live in Madison tonight on 1070thegame.com. This show will air on Friday on 1070 The Game. We're also live every Tuesday on our website, racingroundup.net, thanks to a great feed and coverage from our friends at Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty. Like our show on Facebook and watch our Facebook Live feed every week, too. It'll pop right up when you like our page and say, hey, let's watch this. Or maybe watch it when you feel like watching it. Maybe it's tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. You can watch it anytime. Tonight on the show, Brad Miller leads off with a preview of the Friday night, June 25th, Russ Shuffler Tribute Night. We have tickets to give away for that after the show. Dirt Modified and Legends champion Ryan Meck is here. He brought his race car, sitting right up front here at Polly's. We'll hear from Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, that Jimmy Johnson, who has been testing recently at Road America. So we got some interesting insights from Jimmy during his IndyCar test at Road America about this coming weekend in the Rev Group Grand Prix. And you want to be here, then stay tuned for the Kevin Olson and his corner, Donnie Clevin. We've set aside some time for them. And yes, they're already here. And KO brought a couple of his books to give away. I don't know what possessed them. He usually sells them. He's got some to sell, but he's going to give us a couple of Cages Are for Monkeys. That's the book Kevin wrote, forward by Tony Stewart. Those books are here to be given away and sold after the show. We're here for the next 90 minutes on the air. Great giveaways after. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery in West Dallas. Join the racing crowd.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Hey gang, Rich Bickle here. This is my 45th and final year racing, and come January I'm throwing the biggest retirement party in history of racing. Join me on the Norwegian cruise ship Joy for Bickle's Bon Voyage, the largest short track party at sea. We'll be cruising the Caribbean and stopping at some awesome places. January 22nd to the 29th on a ship that has 18 bars, imagine that, 16 gourmet restaurants, craft beers, and a go-kart track. I'll tell some stories, not my book, and there'll be some stories I can't tell on the radio. And you can ask me anything during the special question and answer session. Join the racers and fans already signed up. The bench racing party will be spectacular. Get out to January, Wisconsin weather and let's party. Spend a week in the warm Caribbean as we visit Honduras, Costa Maya, Belize, and Cozumel. Bickle's Bon Voyage is made possible through marketing, making memories travel. Visit the Facebook page or go online right now to mymmtravel.com. I guarantee a great time that'll be talked about for years to come. You won't want to miss it. Click on the link on mymmtravel.com. Join me and celebrate 45 years of racing on Bickle's Bon Voyage Cruise.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show for 37 years and counting, your home for all things motorsports. We have great sponsors, great supporters. You just heard Central Services, ATD. Our Dave Schmalzer is now booked on Bickle's Bon Voyage with his wife. So come January, there's 3 rooms that say Racing Roundup all over them on the Bickle Cruise. So if you want to find out more, search Facebook, Bickle's Bon Voyage. Hey, turn your recyclable metals into cash today. All 3 Allied Resource Recovery locations are open at ARR West Allis Recycling at 80th and Burnham, at ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court, and at National Salvage on South 44th Street, right across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. The Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals return to LaSalle Speedway next Wednesday night, June 23rd, featuring a 5,000 hours to win, UMP late models, UMP modifieds, and UMP street stocks, all in one exciting night. Tickets are $25. Kids 11 under are free. Pit gates open at 1 p.m. Grandstands at 4. Racing starts at 6:30. Be there next Wednesday night, June 23rd, LaSalle Speedway for Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals. Tonight we'll have giveaways after the show, including a VIP package for 4 to this Sunday's Milwaukee Mile Father's Day 100 presented by Lucas Oil. The Belgrade paves the way 20 Midwest Truck Series race and the Mid-Am Vintage races. The VIP packages for Sunday, June 20th, the mile includes tickets, 4 hats, a pit tour, and a pace car ride. Bottles of Anderson's maple syrup are going out the door. Die-cast cars from Greenfield Gallery, where they're always buying racing collections. 4 tickets to the Rush Shuffler Tribute Night Race Friday, June 25 at Plymouth Dirt Track. Vintage Interstate Batteries, die-cast cars. 2 Kevin Olson books. Yep, Cages Are for Monkeys. That's the name of the book. 2 books from Kevin are going to be given away. He'll be our special guest on after 7 o'clock tonight. 2 tickets to the Saturday, June 26th, Dick Trickle 99 Super Late Model Race at Dells Raceway Park. It's round 3 of the Alive for 5 series. We have tickets for that to give away tonight. Mech Racing, thank you, Ryan Mech, brought a couple of T-shirts and Amazon and Chili's gift cards to give away, and we've got other prizes as well. So that's a lot to do after the show tonight here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. On the show right now, let's welcome in the driver, that number 89. He'll be racing on June 25th. That's a Friday night. It's a Rush Shuffler Tribute Night at the Plymouth Dirt Track, where he happens to own a couple of dirt late model championships. Let's welcome back our friend Brad Miller from Miller Sales and Service. Bradley, thanks for making the trip down.
Well, I appreciate you having me on tonight. This is a pretty big event coming up, and I'd like to talk about it a little bit with you guys.
Twice this year we've had you on. And I'm looking at this race, June 25th, the Rush Shuffler Tribute Night. Russ passed away in September 2017, and there's been a race at Plymouth in his name, but there's a couple of people and a lot of support to make this a really cool event.
It's absolutely amazing this year. Greg Wester and Chad Marquardt have put together a purse of $21,124 for a Friday night show that is absolutely amazing.
Ted Dolan's sitting here. He's got both ears perked up. He might be throwing his race.
I think Teddy's coming back Friday.
Yeah,
I think he's coming back Friday.
See the money.
Awesome. What's really cool about it, Jim? Okay, so a lot of the cherry pickers that race across the country would try to come to this race normally. You know, they like to go for their $3,000 to $5,000 to win shows. This race pays $28.74 to win. Okay?
Russ's number is 74, and 15 was the number he raced a lot too, and won.
Yep. And it pays $1,000 yet for 9th spot.
Whoa.
It pays $350 to start the race, where most of our races are $200 to start. It pays $350 to start, which is 20th spot, and then it goes up to 19th is $400, and so on and so forth.
And there's a bunch of people throwing money at it, including Miller's Sales and Service for finishing positions or leading in whatever specific lap. I mean, there's a lot going on besides a really deep pay.
Yeah, purse. I don't know all the sponsors. Yeah. It's presented by KSI Construction out of Plymouth. Scott Tennyson and his family, and they put their heart and soul into motorsports, and it's great that they came on board. So I'm expecting that we're probably going to have between 35 and 40 cars at this show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night, June 25th. Plymouth normally races on Saturday, but that Friday night is going to be really, really big.
Right.
40 cars.
Yep.
Wow.
It's going to start a little bit later. Racing's going to start at 6:30. They're going to have a meet and greet behind the grandstands between 5 and 5:30 area. They've got free prizes for all the drivers. They got 33 different prizes. Like last year, I won a welder from Bailey Industrial.
Whoa, nice.
That's a great prize.
Yeah. I saw racing uniforms. I saw additional money for finishing 15th. I saw $89 being thrown in there for, I think it's you throwing money in for 15th place. Is that what I saw?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, additional money thrown at this. And there might be people walking up with wallets just saying, here, I want this to give to the racers.
And our friend Bob Gutnick from Oak Creek Automotive is giving away a TV.
Wow.
I didn't ask him if it was a 10-inch screen or if it's black and white. You never know with Bob.
Right.
So, but no, this is going to be a great race. I hope to see you all there because there's going to be the best guys from Shawano. There's going to be some guys from Illinois coming, I imagine. There's going to be the best guys from Plymouth. And I think it's going to be a really, really, really great show.
And you've raced in this every year they've had it, right?
I have.
Because I know you now are focusing on the Dirt Kings, and you've got some pavement commitments, like Sunday night at Slinger. You ran your super late. This is one that you've not missed, though.
No, I would never miss this. And I haven't raced at Plymouth much this year because we kind of focused on the Dirt Kings, and we were still focused on getting the new asphalt car done. We finished 5th at Slinger on Sunday, but we're looking to make that a little bit better, aren't we?
He's looking at his son Ryder here for reinforcement, reconfirmation. He's only got a half a glass of root beer down. Well, aren't we supposed to feed him a lot of sugar before you take him back to help in the shop?
I don't know if we want him helping after he drank that much sugar.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big glass. What else have you been racing, Bradley, as you're getting tuned up for this Friday night, June 25th spectacular?
Well, Kevin Barker and I bought another race car.
All right.
We bought a Midwest truck, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we won't be ready for Milwaukee Mile this weekend, but what we're looking to do with it is rent it out for some development for younger guys. And I'm probably going to race the truck at the Dixieland race up at Kaukauna. But other than that, we're looking to rent it out for young development drivers, is get them up and coming.
So that's kind of neat. So what attracted you to that? I mean, there's plenty of choices. What attracted you to the Midwest Truck Series saying, hey, let's do this?
Well, I drove John Wood's truck last year, and I had so much fun doing that. Yeah, they're underpowered on a big tire, so you really can't get yourself in a lot of trouble. And I thought that would be a perfect starter series for a young man that's getting out of Legend Cars or the Bandolero series to be able to step into, to get the full effects of working on a super late with coilover suspension and 4-link and 3-link and stuff and so forth. So we came across a car. Jeff Steenbergen had called me about a new trailer that I had, and he wanted to trade his trailer in. He says, I'm going to have to finance the rest of it until I can come up with until I sell my truck. I says, well, why don't we just trade your truck in? So we traded a truck and a trailer on a trailer, so it worked out pretty well for both of us, and Kevin and I decided to go halves on it, and we decided to start this because I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm starting to get up there a little bit in age, so I got to start some younger talent going along.
What I'm impressed about is a lot of drivers will be focused on what they do, what they have, and how they race. You are now taking a little perspective of saying, if I can help somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It could be a 16-year-old kid. It could be a 20-year-old guy that's like, hey, I want to try this.
There's some guys I see around that have some real raw talent that I'd like to put in some stuff.
Yep.
Just got to see if they got a little money to bring along to the program.
Gotcha. That always makes it go better.
It makes much better.
What is going on these days at Miller's Sales and Service, just a short drive from where you're listening to this show in Random Lake?
Well, I have a lot full of empty trailers. I should say empty lot
Wait a minute.
Of trailers.
You have no trailers, so that means an empty lot that trailers used to be on.
That used to be on. We sold 160 trailers in 2.5 months, which is absolutely insane. And I have 50 trailers coming in the next probably 5 to 6 months. So it's going to be tough. To order a new trailer right now, if you order a full-blown race trailer, you're looking at a year. And just a standard trailer, you're like 6 months out. So,
and that's just a matter of fact. So you're getting what you can get when you get it.
Yeah, and we just received another surcharge yesterday. So it's been very, very difficult. But we're making the best of it. We're doing more car and truck stuff.
I see your used car sales are going up, and I just saw a post you put out there that you guys are now doing financing.
We are now doing financing. Yeah, we had to branch out a little bit to try and, for the little extra to keep.
So if you want that brand new Pontiac Grand Prix from 2009, new to you,
yes,
you can finance it now through Miller Sales and Service.
You can finance it through us, absolutely.
Right. 2010 maybe. Those were kind of cooler.
You think Grandpa will sell his Aztec?
No.
No. My dad drives. Remember those Pontiac Aztecs? Like the ugliest
looks like
thing they ever
someone
built?
like Ryder might have designed at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for somebody to design when you're...
He got you there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that's what my dad drives on a daily basis, a 05 Pontiac Aztec with
Nice.
like
You sit up higher.
200,000 miles on it.
Sit
I
up
think
higher.
I bought it at the auction from Donnie Clevin.
And Donnie's here tonight. He'll be
Yeah.
on the show later with his driver. He owns a car that Kevin Olson drives in the Badger Midgets. It's got to be fun knowing you get to go places and have fun with people like Donnie Clevin, and that circle of friends you have really comes together at certain times, including the people that you probably know. Most of the people that are involved, circling back to the June 25th Rush Effort Tribute Night. I mean, there's a lot of people that you've been involved with for a long time that are saying, let's do this. Let's make this a bigger event.
Right. And what's great about this, too, is you see a lot of the Hales Corners people. You know, I see a lot of them sitting over at the table here. I know they're all going to be there, and it's great to see them all come through the pits and, you know, just to shoot the breeze with them. You know, Frank Smith will come out that night. You know, we always get to chew on Frank's ear for a while.
He showed up at our radio show last week at Bergie's.
Did he really?
Yeah, gave me a nice little wave during the show. I knew Frank was there.
It's a great big reunion. It's really a nice time, and you know, it's in honor of a great man. You know, there was. So here's a true point.
Yep.
Russ has won the most late model races at Plymouth. Okay, since its inception, with 45 or 46 feature wins. I'm second with 21.
Whoa!
So I got a little ways to go to catch him.
Well, let's get to it. How about Friday night, June 25th? That's a big payday.
That would be a great one to win.
Buy some tires.
Sure. That would be it for sure.
Buy some new baseball cleats for your son.
He could use them.
Yeah.
No, you just got some new shoes, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a new helmet too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Looks nice. Looks good. Things are clicking.
Things are clicking. Yeah, it's been a great year so far. Haven't, you know, with our Dirt Kings, we had 2 races cancel. One because of rain, one because of a conflict of interest with another track. But we're really ramping up here. End of June through July and August, there's going to be a lot of good shows coming up. You know, there's a Summer Nationals race that all of us locals can run. I believe June 30th at Beaver Dam, which will be another cool venue for us. So
yeah, great. Get around your little beaver. It should be fun.
It'll be a blast.
How about I say it for Brad Miller and his son Ryder for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you for bringing the race tickets. We're giving away tickets to the June 25th Rush Effort Tribute Night after the show tonight. So come on down and win those. I got to tell you right now, we're excited to have this part of our show. We actually had the chance to go to Road America, and Jimmy Johnson had a test day that only the media knew about. But this Sunday, you'll be able to hear the IndyCar Radio Network's call of the Rev Group IndyCar Grand Prix this Sunday live right here on the Big 920. Jimmy Johnson's racing in the IndyCar race as an IndyCar rookie. He recently tested his IndyCar at Road America in advance of this Sunday's race, and in a media session on test day, Jimmy shared where he's at, his thoughts about Road America, and listen closely for some Wisconsin memories. Here's what he had to say. Who has been guiding you the most in your IndyCar development this season?
Dario, for sure. Dario's been, full-time driver coach for all 4 drivers in the IndyCar series for Chip Ganassi Racing, and we're trying to put as many resources in and around me, and there are only a few people that can say they've driven stock cars and Indy cars. So as I'm trying to bridge the gap, the direction I'm coming from, Dario has experience in trying, half a season in NASCAR, and certainly Scott Pruitt has a lot of experience in IndyCar and in both NASCAR. So with Scott being a former CGR champion and employee and race winner, as we're trying to really extract everything that we can and help me learn as fast as possible, we just feel like it'd be great to have Scott around. And thankfully he's available and interested, and I was willing to come out of the non-racing world to come back in for this opportunity to work a little bit closer with me. I feel like I've really stretched Dario's capacity on a race weekend at track. He has 3 other drivers to worry about, and with Scott's expertise and knowledge, that we feel like it would be very useful to have him around, take some of that load off of Dario, and really for me to have a driver coach with me start to finish over a course of a race weekend day to day. So today's the first day with him here at track, and it's been nice to integrate him in. I can see his excitement and willingness to be involved, and we're just trying to find that cadence of how he can help and how I can speed up my learning curve in one of these Indy cars.
What pressure have you put on yourself, or how does this challenge compare to your previous racing experiences?
I've been here before through various levels of changing series cars, surfaces that I've raced on, and it's kind of familiar in a sense because I've been racing so long and been through so many things that I'm much more at ease this time around as a rookie than I've ever been in my career. Also, I think I've taken a lot of pressure off of myself due to the success I've had in NASCAR, and I'm not fighting for my life in motorsports in a sense. I've already accomplished so much, and I'm just in a different headspace. So I'm enjoying this a lot more and taking full advantage of being a rookie and the highs and lows that come with that.
The want is still there. What are realistic expectations? And was this a goal or a dream to get into Indy cars at some point?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the competitor in me wants to be racing for the wins, racing for a championship. All of that is still there. But what I have learned through my journey is realistic expectations are so important for myself and for the team. And we're all lined up really well on those things and trying to use this first year to get all the experience that I can, progress up the finishing results, progress up the qualifying results, and really get into a competitive position. So I know at some point soon the frustration will set in because I keep making these big gains and kind of owning different aspects of this experience. And the hardest part are the final few tenths. These big chunks are easy to get, and when I really get enough experience, I know the competitive frustration will kick in and I'll be back to business as usual with the mindset. No, definitely a dream. Growing up in Southern California, IndyCar was the series, and many off-road racers transitioned to IndyCar, and those were my heroes, and I wanted to do the same. But my relationship with Chevrolet and the opportunities that they could present for me led me to stock cars. Very thankful, clearly, that it happened. But in 2018, I switched cars with Fernando Alonso and drove his Formula One car. And that open wheel experience kind of reactivated this whole thing. And since that opportunity in 2018, I've been trying to find a way into an open wheel car and finally able to pull it off.
Early on, team owner Chip Ganassi made a bold statement that Jimmy Johnson could score some podiums, maybe even steal a win in IndyCar. Did he do you any favors in saying that?
I wouldn't expect anything else, and I wouldn't want anything else. I mean, that's where our headspace should be, and that's what I want my owner to expect out of me. So I hope to get there. I feel like it's pretty far out there for me. Maybe end of the year, maybe next year. But as I keep owning these things in the car, I'm making these big gains that I know it's going to look a lot better soon.
Compare today to your progress in open wheel to where you were in your transition and progress in stock cars. Is it comparable to, say, racing an ASA or where? Where are you in this learning curve?
I feel like I'm in the Xfinity series right now with my ability level. I think racing so much for so long maybe took away the entry point being relative to ASA. Although I did drive an F3 car quite a bit this winter, and then have made a lot of mistakes, getting this year started, trying to fast forward my learning curve. But I know it's tough to look at qualifying results and race results and say, oh yeah, he's getting better. But the things that I'm feeling in the car, I'm sensing in the car, the stuff that we see in data and where I'm shaving time off and how I'm generating lap time and the old habits that I'm breaking, I'm making huge strides every time I'm in the race car. So the one variable that is working against me more than anything is the fact that the tracks keep changing and I keep going to tracks that I've never been on before. So a day like today is really beneficial. When we come back for the race, I hope to shine a bit more since I had a track day here. But heading to Detroit, I guess in a week or so, never been there, there's no way to test there. I've run a bazillion laps in iRacing, but it's not the same, right? Like, you just have to be there in person. So that's a variable that I hope people are patient with while they're watching and understand that this first year, not only am I learning cars, I'm learning tracks. And that's why I'm so keen on a second year and even more years in IndyCar, because the track knowledge is such a vital part of any form of racing. And, just being a rookie in 2021 doesn't matter the series. The laps are so limited. Then you add street circuits that take place in an IndyCar series, and it's just really tough to get the quality laps that you need.
Jimmy lived in Wisconsin for 2 years while racing an ASA. He was asked, what are your impressions and maybe some early memories of Road America?
It's been amazing. I mean, I think the first time by I used a few expletives describing just how awesome the experience was coming around at speed. I've not been here before, so to have this experience and the first time by in an IndyCar at whatever pace I was going was just world class. So This track has been on my wish list since I was, a young kid watching racing, and to finally be here is really special. There was one off-road race held here when I was doing some television work. Must have been 95, I think the year before I started driving. And I can't even recall on property where the off-road track was located, but I snuck out in a rent-a-car and made a lap and just thought, wow, I'd love to come back and give this a shot. And back then my headspace was from off-road to IndyCar. That was the transition that I had hoped to make. So NASCAR really wasn't in my mind space or headspace then. And it's just ironic, 25, 30 years later, here I am back in an IndyCar.
Finally, here is Jimmy Johnson describing some of the challenging parts of Road America in an IndyCar.
I didn't realize how narrow this track is at speed. I've been in simulators and it feels a bit more generous with space. So as I'm looking around at the beautiful facility and the topography and, oh yeah, I've seen this corner on TV and I'm in the carousel right now, that's cool. I'm getting up to speed and I'm realizing just how narrow the track is at the speeds we're running. So it was a bit of absorbing the moment and then at the same time realizing just how tricky this track is. The carousel is more friendly to me than the kink. The kink, you're just grabbing sixth gear turning in and the car is pretty neutral. And when you exit the kink, the walls are really there and on top of you. So if something goes wrong, it's going to be an eventful straightaway lies ahead for you. So that one, that's probably the spot that gets my attention the most. I would say turn one gets my attention pretty well because the crown in the road and the way you kind of drop over a hill and approach turn one, you don't have a good reference point for braking marks and you can't see the apex in time to know where to hit the brakes. So it's kind of a guess at where to get on the brakes and get slowed down for turn one. So those two corners kind of are the hot spots for me right now. Five is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's tricky. 6 is definitely tricky up over the hill. But at least I have good reference points to get the car slowed up and I can see the apexes. Turn 1, it's really blind and you're boogieing pretty fast.
That is Jimmy Johnson and his thoughts about this weekend. Glad you got a piece of that. Last time Jimmy was on our show, we were at the Watertown Bowl, and Jimmy was a surprise call-in with Howie Lotto sitting next to us at the bowling alley. He had a big smile on his face. It was all worth it. So glad that we got Jimmy Johnson some time on our Racing Roundup program. Racing in the Rev Group Grand Prix this Sunday. The Rev Group Grand Prix presented by American Medical Response. Weekend at Road America starts this Thursday. Gates open every day at 7 a.m. The paddock is open to fans. 4 divisions of Road to Indy, including Indy Lights plus vintage Indy cars, will be on track. IndyCar's first session on track is Friday afternoon at 4:15. Then they're back on track Sunday morning at 10, qualifying at 1:30 and practicing at 4:30 on Saturday. Then this Sunday there'll be 5 feature races, 1 for each class, but listen closely. They start at 8 in the morning, and the green flag for the Rev Group Grand Prix IndyCar race is at 11:38 a.m. Yes, you heard me right. 11:38 a.m. on Sunday is when they go green for the Rev Group IndyCar race. So keep that in mind. Plan to get the Road America early. Green flag before noon on Sunday for the IndyCars, 11:38 a.m. And all active first responders, including police, fire, and EMS, receive free access all weekend. Tickets and details are at roadamerica.com. We're talking short track racing next when we come back on the Racing Roundup Show. Join the racing crowd. We're live tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the CWRA Super Late Models return for the Apollo Dual Night. You need more speed? The late models also hit the track. Plus the UMA Modified, Bandits, and the WIR Sport Truck. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Get your tickets and more info online at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dells Raceway Park, located 5 miles west of Wisconsin Dells on Highways 12 and 16. The Apollo Duel Night this Saturday at Dells Raceway Park.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Wolf Paving Raceway, home of the Badger Kart Club in Dousman. Most Sundays from April through September, Club Championship Points Racers and National Touring Series will race on the challenging paved road course. 4 bank turns have been added and provide new challenges to Wolf Paving Raceway, already one of the finest kart racing tracks in the country. Kart racing offers competition for racers of all ages, from 5 to 80. There are 15 classes and over 100 entries a week. Race where Ellen Kowicki, Danica Patrick, and Josh Palicki got their start. Spectator admission is always free. Walk the pits, talk to the racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand, too. Bring the whole family and check out kart racing for yourself. Wolf Paving Raceway is just south of I-94, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. Take the Highway 67 Dousman-Oconomowoc exit, head south to Highway 18, then west to Grambling Road. For all the latest information and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, live on your radio on the Big 920 in Milwaukee on 1070thegame.com. And on Friday of this week, you can catch us on 1070 The Game on the radio. Looking forward to having you join us on a given Tuesday night here at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. Next week, we're here at Paulie's. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be on the road with our D'Angelo's Construction Road Show on Tuesday night, June 29th at Wilmot Raceway in the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. A big show put on there, and it's going to be brought to you by CK Contractors. Looking forward to having you join us there for our Tuesday night show. This coming Saturday, I might as well get the big word out now. This coming Saturday, our show is going to be live inside the Milwaukee Mile in Victory Lane on Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock on the Big 920 and 1070 The Game. Looking forward to seeing you at the racetrack. We're going to be inside the track thanks to our friends at D'Angelo's Construction and Oak Creek Automotive. So listen for a special live broadcast this Saturday of our show, live from 5 to 6 inside the Milwaukee Mile in Victory Lane. Looking forward to having you join the racing crowd this Saturday for a special show there as well. If you're looking to sell or buy your home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Visit mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. Dean Strom, fresh off the boat, because, he likes to fish. is here with the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. Dean, welcome back.
Thanks, Jim. Good to be here. Bonafide Security Solutions brings us the Short Track Report for camera and alarm systems for your home or business. Program, card access, and gun safes. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. Dells Raceway Park, Michael Bilderback made a last lap pass Jesse Bernhagen to capture his second late model feature win in 2021. Fast qualifier Mike Litchfield finished second, with Bernhagen rounding out the top three. With that strong performance, Litchfield takes over the championship point lead. Norway, Michigan's Joey Pontbriand snagged the feature win in the sportsman division, Stephen Becker winning the bandit feature. You can get your tickets online right now, DellsRacewayPark.com. This Saturday night, CWRA Super Late Models headline at the Dells. CK Contractors brings us the Wilmot Raceway results. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, excavating and grading, demolition, retention pond building, and a whole lot more. Log on to CK Contractors LLC today. Scotty Neitzel won the IRA Outlaw Sprints feature Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway, his second consecutive feature win in as many nights. He won Friday night at Hartford Speedway in Michigan. Other Wilmot winners were Chris Dodd in the wingless sprints, with last week's guest, Chris Klemko, finishing fourth. And it was Chris Carlson again in the modifieds.
I think that's
Wilmot.
6 in a row now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy. It's a special Friday night weekly show at Wilmot this week, 4 divisions, and then Saturday and Sunday, Monster Truck Throwdown at the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. Details, WilmotRaceway.com. Heavy passing rainstorm washed out Friday's action at Madison International Speedway. This Friday night, full NASCAR weekly racing program. Visit MISRacing.com. Ryan DeStefano put a wabam on the Super Late Model competition.
I like how I
Sunday
said that.
night.
That's like his sponsor and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim wrote that.
Yeah, I did. I like how it sounds too.
Happened Sunday night at Slinger Speedway in what was just a phenomenal Super Late Model feature between he and RJ Braun. RJ finished second, falling about 6 inches short at the finish line. Dennis Prunty finished third in a car that is older than RJ Braun.
Wow.
By about 4 years.
Oh, my.
Older. Luke Fenhouse, Brad Miller completed the top 5. Ryan Crane captured his first career late model feature victory in the 40-lap main event as he held off Jordan DeVoy and Tom Behrens at the finish. Ryan Gutenig, Zach Prunty finished 4th and 5th, respectively. Andrew Meyerhofer won the 35-lap sportsman feature. Dylan Schwanbeck winning the 25-lap Great North Legends feature. Tickets available for the 42nd annual Supply Zone Slinger Nationals, presented by Miller Lite and Wabam. We're going to be live at the show Tuesday night, July 6th.
Yep, we're bringing the show. The DeAngelis Construction Road Show is coming to Slinger.
Yep, brought to you by Oak Creek Automotive. So Tuesday night, July 6th at the front gate there at the Slinger Nationals. Check it out. Tristan Swanson beat last week's show guest James Swan to the checkered Saturday night. Hawkeye Down Speedway Midwest Truck Series. All of the teams for the Midwest Truck Series are preparing to race on the Milwaukee Mile across the street this Sunday, June 20th. Series is supported by All Cool Radiator and Pathfinder Chassis. More information at MidwestTruckSeries.com.
And they got a big sponsor, Belgard Paving. Belgard Paving the Way 20 is the name of the race at the mile. So search Outdoor Living by Belgard on Facebook. They're in Wisconsin and Illinois. They're sponsoring the truck race at the Midwest Truck Series at the mile this weekend.
Very cool. Chase McDermott has won Badger Midget has won a Badger Midget championship, but he had never won a race at Angel Park Speedway until this past Sunday night. More with tonight's guest, Kevin Olson, who was the points leader heading in to the weekend. Carson Quapple won the red race in the first Red, White, and Blue State Championship feature this past Thursday night. Jesse Oudenhoven and Casey Johnson finished second and third. SRX got started, Jim, this past Saturday at Stafford Speedway.
Stafford, I think you have to call it Stafford, in Connecticut. Yeah.
One of the biggest crowds that they have had there in the last 20 years, if not the biggest crowd they've had there in the last 20 years. 6-time Stafford Speedway track champion Doug Kobe took the checkered flag. He beat Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, all the superstars to the line. Set your DVRs. Elio Castroneves and the other SRX racing stars. They're going to hit Knoxville this Saturday on CBS, and of course at Slinger on Saturday night, July 10th. Brandon Overton, asking for a loan.
Yeah.
He's got $273,000.
Not a bad 4-day work week.
He swept the weekend at Eldora in the Dirt Late Model Dream. They had 2 dreams because they didn't get to.
Then they ran another dream.
Yeah, because they didn't get to run last year's.
Yeah.
So they made up for it.
126,000 after winning the 10,000 prelim for the first dream, which was credited to last year. Then he goes out and wins the prelim for the next dream on Friday night. That's 10 grand. And then he came back and won 127,000, 27th annual, the dream at Eldora.
Not too shabby. Buddy Kofoid was crowned Indiana Midget Week champion. Badger Kart Club racing this Sunday at Wolf Paving Raceway in Dousman, where spectator admission is always free. And as Greg Lapine just reminded me, Tuesday night, July 20th, we're taking the show on the road once again. We're going to be at Heaven City on 278th and National in McGuanago.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a car show, so if you want to find out more information, we got a phone number for you. You want to bring your classic car, your race car. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of folks out at the old Heaven City complex, 278th and National for the Greenfield Gallery Heaven City Car Show. Tonight, we have a special guest. We're going to put the spotlight right on him. It's not going to be full of syrup, but we want to thank our friends at Anderson's Maple Syrup, a proud Wisconsin company, family business since 1928. They are sponsoring what we call the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. Tonight's special spotlight shines on Ryan Mack. He's won and championship in Legends. He's racing in dirt modified, and probably the only guest we have this year that has raced at the Bristol Dirt Track this year. Let's welcome in Ryan Mack to the show. Ryan, welcome back to the program. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you.
Let's start with Bristol. I talked to you a couple weeks ago in the pits at Wilmot to lock you in for tonight, and we talked quite a bit about how much different it was, I'm sure, racing at Bristol for the first time in your modified on dirt in that big arena. How much fun was it?
Bristol was just an absolute blast. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. Yeah, truthfully, if they did it again, we'd probably go back in a heartbeat just because it was such a great time. Yeah, there's just nothing like walking through that tunnel for the first time and looking up at the grandstands and just seeing how massive that place is. And then looking at the banking and going, I have to race on this somehow.
And talking to your dad, Dan, and you in the pits at Wilmot, he said, you almost have to go back anyway, right? You're like locked in because Bill Preetzel was one of your crew guys. And he came back, and Jan said, we're going to buy a motor so you can run that, Bill. And he's like, yeah, we got to run this thing. So I think you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, Preetzel said that, he had one bucket list track, and I believe that was Laguna Seca. And he said now he has two. It's Bristol on dirt. Figured he ran there on the asphalt. Might as well try it out on the dirt now, too. He doesn't know if he'd be able to hold it wide open all the way around there, but he said he'd like to give it a shot.
Yeah, I saw him at the Snowball Derby running his modified on the pavement in Pensacola, so it's kind of cool. He has the itch, and you get to scratch it. What did you learn there that can apply to your short track season? Because it was kind of right before things kicked in around Wisconsin.
Yeah, honestly, that was like my first time having a lot of nights back to back in the car, and I was able to really just get my feet wet and really learn the car because we hadn't gone. We ran a couple of races last year with the Sport Mod, but we never really dove into it like we had planned on. So, I mean, we learned a ton about tire prep, setups, just racecraft. The way that those guys race is totally different than racing a legend car, of course. The lines are totally different and everything like that. So we brought a lot of stuff back with us. And racing down there were 117 cars in the pits for the Sport Mods. And, nearly every single one of those guys could have gone out and won. There were many, many national champions, guys that have won hundreds of features before. Truthfully, we didn't belong at all, but we decided to give it a shot because, like I said, once-in-a-lifetime deal, can't pass that up.
Yeah, well, you guys held your own. I watched a little bit of the online streaming of a practice session, but talk about organization. You guys had it going on because if you missed your practice 6 laps or you missed your heat race, man, you were just done, stuck, forget it. You had to be on top of all that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was one day they finished racing at 1 in the morning because that was their curfew because they had to sleep at some point. And they said, we're going to come back. You guys got to be in line at 6:30 in the morning. We'll be loading in by 7.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's one where we're all up waiting to see what they're going to do. And all of a sudden, oh, man, we got to go get our 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep or whatever and get this thing ready for tomorrow morning. And but, yeah, there was definitely a lot of thrashing sometimes if you didn't, if you needed to make some setup changes at the last minute because you saw that they were going to re-prep the track before you went down there because you could only take what you could carry down onto the infield. So you basically got, you could put a couple tires on the back of your car and you could take an impact and maybe a tire gauge with you. And that was about it as far as adjustments you were going to be making down there. So you had to be ready when you went down there because you were locked in for about an hour or two down there.
And how'd you feel your performance was compared to all those national champions in that national 117 car field?
Well, out of the 117, we ended up 54th total in points going into the LCQ day. So I can't complain too much about that. like I said, we finished every race that we were in. We had no DNFs, which is more than what a lot of guys can say. A lot of motors got lost down there. A lot of
equipment got torn up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of big wrecks. We survived all those. So I honestly have no complaints. I think we did great for our first time on a big track like that.
And where have you raced your modified? I know you've got a lot of things going on with the Legends car and the modified. Where have you raced the modified, and how successful have you been since racing in Wisconsin kicked in?
We've only ran that one actually probably about 6 or 7 times so far since we got back. We've been running it with the modifieds at Wilmot, and then we run with the sport mods at Beaver Dam. And then we've also run at Plymouth once this year, and we plan on going back there for the Scheffler show. But honestly, the results haven't been outstanding. I thought we'd honestly be a little faster right off the bat, but my dad keeps reminding me on a weekly basis that I am a rookie. I'm racing against guys that got years of experience on some of these tracks. And Beaver Dam, truthfully, is not as easy to get around as a lot of people make it out to be. There's a lot of nights where it's very spotty on the track, and if you miss your mark and you miss that one strip of bite out there, you lose 3 or 4 spots, and you spend the rest of the race trying to get those back because the field is so even. There's a lot of great guys that race out there on a weekly basis. Guys like Skylar Woods and Elijah Koenig came back and kicked everyone's butts this past week, and Jeff Schmuel was there, and guys that go to other tracks and do very well at tracks like 141.
Well, you've also had that chance in the Legends car to feel a success and win a championship, but the state championship and a track championship. In your Legends car sitting right out here front tonight. So when you get the balance of doing both, does that feeling come back? Like, I know what I'm doing in a Legends car. I'm learning in the modified. How much does that tear you in different directions, knowing you can win with regular, conviction in a Legends car, and now you're testing the waters while you're still racing a Legends car in a modified?
Oh, that's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head there. It's very conflicting. I'll go out and I'll have a great run in the Legend car. Like this past Saturday at Beaver Dam, I went out and I led almost every single lap in the feature in the Legend. I made a mistake on the last lap and lost it because the guy behind me was just playing faster.
Okay.
And then I get in the sport mod and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. We're second or 2 features later, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I know the track perfectly. I should be fine. Led the first lap in that, and then I ended up finishing 11th somehow. So,
wow. Okay.
I went from being on a really great high to all of a sudden at the bottom by the time we left the track, and I'm going, man, we got to change something with this car. But that's one of those. We'll get there. I just got to keep telling myself that I'll learn and we'll get there.
I had not known how many times you raced the same night with both cars. Is that a frequent thing you plan on doing the rest of the summer?
Yeah, anytime Beaver Dam runs both classes, which I think they had 13 shows with the 5 divisions this year, we plan on doing both.
Wow.
And, that's one of the main reasons why my dad ended up, finally retiring for now.
For now, yeah. I select the words for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was very close to getting in a car at Angel Park on Sunday. Someone had their car. They were feeling under the weather, and he was about that close to buying a temp license and going out and racing. But no, he's enjoying the crew chief thing. He likes, wrenching on both cars and keeps him busy.
I did see your social post on Mech Racing on Facebook. When you ran the Prairie last Sunday, you had said that was probably the most fun you had at the Prairie at Angel Park Speedway. Why was it so fun in a Legends car that night?
Honestly, it's probably one of the best racetracks that we've had at Sun Prairie in quite a long time. Greg McCarnes has done great work since they took over Angel Park. Simple things like getting new speakers installed, just really updating a lot of the amenities that are there, and then doing a lot of great work to the track. It was multiple grooves the entire night. Had a cushion, which we haven't had there in a long time, in all honesty. A lot of times we go out, it was very dry and slick right away, even for the heat race. And yeah, we were 3 and 4 wide. I've never been so happy with a 7th place finish in my life because I went forward in that race, and it was a chore to make one pass because everyone was so fast and so competitive. But man, that was a lot of fun running 3 wide for most of the race with guys.
Cool. Austin Wells is here tonight. He actually is one of the main guys that has been involved with Team McCarnes at Angel Park Speedway, the new promoter group heading in there. He's actually taking the Brewer shuttle tonight with his mom and dad to the Brewer game from Pauley's. So keep that in mind as you come to and fro Milwaukee. You can pop by Pauley's, as Austin did tonight. He finally got a night off is what I think it happened, and he decided to go to the Brewer game. So you're right, there's a lot of work been done there. What's your schedule now going to be, Ryan, for the next couple of weeks?
Okay, so we got Wilmot coming up this Friday. We're going to run with the mods there, and then we're going to run Beaver Dam on Saturday night with just the Legend because it's the World of Outlaw night. So, so just the Legends will be there. And then we'll go to the Scheffler show the following Friday at Plymouth, then back to Beaver Dam Saturday. Angel Park on Sunday. There's a Tuesday night show at Wilmot that will run the modified wet.
And we'll be there June 29th, yeah.
Yep, and then we'll be going down the following day on Wednesday to Circle City in Indiana to go race with the Legends down there.
That sounds really cool. Sponsorship, supporters, who are they?
So sponsors this year, Scott Kruger actually stepped up pretty big this year and helped us out going down to Bristol, giving us a little bit of extra funds to spend down there. So he's been awesome. And then the usual, we got Drink Doc. They've been awesome this year with just sending us lots of product to keep us going throughout the year. Bailing Circle Track, of course. VMS Motorsports and Jim Bucher, he's been awesome throughout a lot of these parts shortages. Bucher seems to be one of the few guys that seems to have parts on a reliable basis, which is awesome. Some people might have noticed a little bit different paint scheme on the car this tonight than what we had earlier in the year. Spitz just scribbling, Dave Spitzer. He got his brushes out and he was able to paint the car for us.
Hand painted numbers are always the best, and you guys have done a great job with keeping that going.
And then last but not least, Diamec Photography. My mom shoots the photos at Beaver Dam every single week, and all that money goes right back into our race program, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. Very cool. A lot of family dedication there. When you get up and down the road, I mean, it takes a lot of time and effort. Who helps in the shop? Is it just you and your dad?
Pretty much, yeah. At this point, he does most of the work. I'm busy with work, trying to make money so we can, head out and
eat, things like that.
Exactly, the usual. But yeah, he puts in, he works close to 40-hour weeks, and then he comes home and puts in another 40 in the shop. Typical racer. Just doesn't know when to quit. And, already after Saturday night, after struggling like we did with the sport mod, we're already, game planning on what we're going to change for when we go to Wilmot on Friday so we can try some stuff. His mind never stops turning. Like I said, that's his favorite thing about this year is he gets to sit back and he gets to watch what the car is doing.
Yeah.
Which is something that he could never do when we were in the same race before. So,
Ryan Meck, the family, Meck Racing. You can check him out on Facebook. Hey, check him out at the racetrack. See what he says after the races. Support this team. They have a lot of fun together. A great family operation. I'm glad you guys came down. Thanks for bringing the shirts and Amazon gift cards and Chili's restaurant gift cards. That's kind of cool. We haven't had those, so that's kind of neat that you guys brought those with you. So we want to thank you for bringing that as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I want to say for Ryan Meck. He's got his Legends car tonight. He'll be racing this weekend. Check him out, Meck Racing on Facebook. And, continued success to you guys. And it's been a lot of fun following you guys around. We are going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're talking about NASCAR. And Kevin Olson's here with his owner, Donnie Clevin. Yep, they're going to be on the show. He asked what words he can say. We'll find out if he says what he wants to say before 7:30. We're coming right back after these on the Racing Roundup Show.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Bergie's Pub and Prime in Caledonia is your destination for mouth-watering prime rib dinners and sandwiches and awesome pub burgers. Enjoy the soup of the day, wings, incredible steak sandwiches, and the area's best homemade pizza. Try Bergie's Friday Fish Fry, weekend breakfast menu, or one of their scrumptious daily specials. Bergie's Pub and Prime is a proud sponsor of the Gutnick Racing Team. Bergie's is just minutes south of the Milwaukee Airport off of I-94 at the 7 Mile Road exit. Head east 2 blocks and hang a left on Frontage Road till it ends. Like them on Facebook, Bergie's Pub and Prime.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Big 920.
We're back on the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to be here on this Tuesday evening. We're live in live in Milwaukee tonight. We'll be airing this show in Madison on Friday. Check us out on 1070. The game. It's going to be fun to have you with us this Saturday. We are going to be live inside the Milwaukee Mile thanks to our friends at D'Angelo's Construction. The Road Show takes it to the infield at Milwaukee. We'll be there Saturday at 5 to 6 p.m. live. It's kind of the transition between practice sessions on the Oval and the start of Street Drags. Milwaukee Street Drags this Saturday night at the Mile. We'll be there 5 to 6 in Victory Lane. Looking forward to having you join us. That's the D'Angelo's Construction Road Show presented by Oak Creek Automotive. Join the racing crowd. The Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals return to the LaSalle Speedway next Wednesday, June 23rd, featuring $5,000 to win, UMP late models, plus UMP modifieds and UMP street stocks are all in one exciting night of racing. Tickets are $25. Kids 11 and under are free. Pit gates open at 1 p.m. Grandstands at 4. The racing starts at 6:30. Be there next Wednesday night, June 23rd, LaSalle Speedway for the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals. I'd like to also remind you and thank our friends at bring us this portion of the program. They're at Random Lake. In Random Lake, it's called Miller's Sales and Service. It'll be worth a short drive to Random Lake to get a great deal on your next boat, trailer, pre-owned car, or truck. Brad Miller, who was just here a bit ago, and the experienced family of racers and employees will find you what you're looking for. The number to call for everything on land or water is 920-994-4358. A couple faces in the crowd want to say hello. Thanks for coming. We've got Mark Brunners in the house, the Pride of Tosa. Mark Goodman's hanging out back there. He usually brings his Pinto to the show. He'll be working at the Mile this weekend. Dick Shetter and Dick Jr. here. Good to see you guys. Kevin Beth and Henry Wisniewski. Good to see you guys here. I just saw Henry perk up. He's giving us a wave. There you go. Good to see you guys here at the show. Thanks for making it so much fun. We want to tell you what's going on in the world of NASCAR briefly in the Interstate Batteries NASCAR Report. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America. They also celebrate their 30th anniversary as a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Today, Josh Blicky announced that Palermo's Pizza will be sponsoring his NASCAR Cup Series car come July 4th at Road America in the Jockey Made in America 250. That's going to be the exciting NASCAR Cup Series at Road America. Josh Blicky's got it's called Screaming Sicilian. That's their brand pizza. It's got the big mustache on the box and the big opening where the mouth is. Well, guess what? That's what the grill looks like. The mouth of the Screaming Sicilian box and the mustache is over the front nose of his Rick Ware Racing Ford. That paint job unveiled today. And if Josh wins the race, it's free pizza for Wisconsinites. Yeah. Josh Blicky wins. We'll have details on how you can win a free Screaming Sicilian pizza from Palermo's. Kyle Larson banked $1 million by winning the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race Sunday night at Texas Motor Speedway. Chase Elliott led the final restart with 10 to go and thought he had help from Larson as the pair of Hendrick teammates lined up on the outside row. Well, Larson did push Elliott to the lead, and then he said, nah, I'm not going to wait that long to go around you. He went high, and Brad Keselowski made a move low just after Larson skated high to challenge Elliott in a mad three-wide scramble off of turn 4. Larson dirt-tracked it while Keselowski got the lead. Brad was unable to clear Larson, who was committed to the outside lane. Larson then made the winning pass off of turn 2 with about 6 laps to go. Brad said afterward he did not have the speed Larson had to challenge. Larson could hardly believe it and admitted he hoped the seldom used outside line had some grip in it when he made his move to the high side of Elliott to cash the $1 million check. The Xfinity Series race was won by Kyle Busch, who now has won 99 of these. He pulled away from Justin Allgaier in a late race green-white checkered restart. It was Kyle's 99th Series win at Texas. He said, I'm going to stop after 100, which may come Saturday, July 3rd in the Henry 180 at Road America. He and Kevin Harvick are both entered in the Road America Xfinity Series race on Saturday, July 3rd. Johnny Sauter is now 8 points below the top 10 playoff cut line after his 12th place performance Friday night at Texas in the Truck Series race. Derek Kraus finished the race 13th and sits 14th in the points. He'll need a win to get in, I think, in the playoffs. John Hunter Nemechek scored his 4th race win of the season. Chase Elliott in the GMS Racing 24 truck finished 2nd, with past Racing Roundup show guest Grant Enfinger 3rd. This weekend, you'll hear all 3 National Series races on the Big 920 at Nashville Super Speedway, the 1.33-mile concrete oval 40 miles from anywhere in Tennessee for the first time ever for the Cup Series and the first time in 10 seasons for the other 2 NASCAR National Series. This Sunday, you'll hear the Road America IndyCar race right here at the Big 920, which takes the green flag again at 11:38 a.m. Yes, 11:38 a.m. green flag on the Big 920. Right after that, the NASCAR Cup Series race will be joined in progress as soon as the IndyCar race concludes. There's a lot going on, as we mentioned at the top of the show. This weekend, the Milwaukee Mile reopens for racing. The first of 2 big stock car weekends is this weekend. 36 brave drivers have already entered the ARCA Midwest Tour Father's Day 100 presented by Lucas Oil. Race from 10 states in Canada. John Wood today told me he's expecting over 25 Midwest Truck Series trucks to race as well. They've got a great thing going as well. And this Saturday, 4 stock car divisions will take optional practice laps in alternating groups from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then I'd like to remind you again, the DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow presented by Oak Creek Automotive, our special live edition of the Racing Roundup Show, will take place from Victory Lane inside the Milwaukee Mile at 5 p.m. That 1-hour show will lead right into the Milwaukee Street Drags. Gates for that opens at 5 p.m. to spectators and racers. Sunday at the Mile. This Sunday, spectator gates open at 9 a.m. Rotating practices start at 9:30. ARCA Midwest Tour single car qualifying at 11, followed by group qualifying for the Midwest Truck Series and Mid-Am stock cars. There's a 12:15 autograph session for the top 20 ARCA Midwest Tour drivers in the grandstands. Opening ceremonies are at 12:50, including Kevin Wisniewski singing the national anthem, lead singer of the ska band Max and the Invaders. Kevin's here tonight on a rare night off from band practice, so Kevin said, "Yep, I'll do the anthem." So that'd be fun to have Kevin back at the Mile singing the national anthem right about 1 o'clock on Sunday. Racing at 1 p.m. starts in this order. ARCA Midwest Tour Last Chance Race, 15 laps. Midwest Truck Series feature the Bellegarde Paving the Way 20, followed by the Upper Midwest Vintage feature. That 20-lapper followed by a 20-lap Mid-American Stock Car feature. Then out-of-car introductions for the Father's Day 100 presented by Lucas Oil. ARCA Midwest Tour race at approximately 3 p.m. And if you can't be there on Sunday for some reason, you can watch the races live on pay-per-view on Speed51.tv, where I'll be on the call of the ARCA Midwest Tour action on Sunday. So support your racing. Get out there, support the Mile. You probably can do IndyCar and Milwaukee. Just saying, if you want to do both. IndyCar race 11:38, ARCA Midwest Tour race about 3 o'clock. Could be a really good day, and then you can tap it off by going to Slinger Speedway Sunday night. Should be a lot of fun. This is a busy weekend. More to talk about with a driver who went through this past weekend as the points leader in the Badger Midget Racing Series. He is here with us tonight with his car owner, Donnie Clevin. Kevin Olson, KO, is on the show next on the Racing Roundup Show. Stick around.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
The NTT IndyCar Series Rev Group Grand Prix returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, June 17th through the 20th. An international lineup of drivers takes center stage for this huge weekend of racing presented by American Medical Response. Enjoy fan activities, go-karting, camping, food, and much more. 4 days and 10 action-packed races for the fastest Father's Day weekend you'll experience. Get your print and home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or Short Tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net. And join the racing crowd on Tuesday night, July 20th at the Greenfield Gallery Car Show. Our Racing Roundup show will be live there on Tuesday night, July 20th at Greenfield Gallery's Car Show at Heaven City on Highway ES at 27850 West National Avenue in Mugwanago.
Stay tuned for more of the Racing Roundup Show. This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports from 6 to 7:30 right here in Milwaukee on WOKY AM, the Big 920, and in Madison on WTSO AM 1070 The Game. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500, and NASCAR at the track. You hear him on MAV TV's live coverage of the ARCA Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. We are live on a Tuesday night. Looking forward to seeing you join us next Tuesday. We're back here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Hey, join the racing crowd this Friday night for family night to take in the great weekly dirt racing action, Wilmot Raceway. And this Saturday and Sunday, it's the Monster Truck Throwdown at the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. Details at wilmotraceway.com. Get there early, get involved, find out more at wilmotraceway.com. There's a live band playing this Saturday night at Bergie's Pub and Prime in Caledonia. The Michael Scott Band takes the stage at 7 p.m. I don't know if it's the same guy that was in the TV show The Office, but it's Michael Scott. I'm sure it'll be awesome. It's one of the live bands they're bringing to Bergie's Pub and Prime in Caledonia. And looking forward to seeing you there. If you have a chance to get there, I will not be there. I've got some racing to go to. And a guy who's been racing forever is joining us now. He wrote a book called Cages Are for Monkeys. He's got a brother, Lauren, who wrote a complete comprehensive book about midgets of Wisconsin. Those are on display here at the show. But we want to talk to the author of the book, Cages Are for Monkeys, and all the things going on as he led the points heading into last weekend in the Badger Midget. So let's welcome in his car owner, Donnie Clevin, and the Kevin Olson, KO, to the Racing Roundup Show. Guys, welcome on to the show. Thank you for coming.
Well, thanks for the invite.
It's our pleasure.
And you got Donnie, you got here early. I'm glad to see that. I was worried about you because you might have been working on the race car.
Well, Kevin was always getting ready to go early, so he made me get going.
And Kevin, you didn't have too much convincing to get here early. That's nice to see.
Well, they do serve alcohol here, and I thought, if we got here a little early, I like to help these kind of businesses out by drinking as much as I can, as fast as I can. So, we had to be here early.
And then I said, hey, Kev, can I buy you a sandwich? And he said, no, but I do drink a lot in the evening. So I think the tab is, I said that they got plenty of beer. And he's like, no, I don't drink beer. I'm not going to drink beer tonight. But you've had a great sponsorship from different beer brands. Pabst, I know, on the Wilkie car. You won a national championship in USAC. Badger Midget championships. They used to hand you cases of Miller Lite at Angel Park when you won features. That was kind of fun and handy.
Yeah, it sure was. I was pretty good in my day, but these are all night races now, so I'm just kind of hanging on. But
hey now,
we were sponsored by Pabst and Coors, and we'd get the Pabst by a pallet full, and so it was almost mandatory you drank a lot. So now, years later, I'm kind of
conditioned. Would that be the word?
Yeah, I can't remember my name or what day it is.
Yeah. So, Donnie, how often does Kevin call you and say, are we racing today? Are we racing today?
About once a week.
Is he on the right day ever?
Yeah, about a day ahead of time.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Just one day ahead. At least you're thinking ahead, though.
I'm kind of like Rain Man, I get programmed that way.
Hey, you were leading the points heading into this weekend. Finished 7th in the A-Main on Saturday night at the Prairie. How was it racing with the All-Stars in front of a full house?
That was pretty cool. I mean, Greg McCarnes has done a great job here coming in with Sun Prairie, and it's nice to have the fans back. It's nice to have Sun Prairie back, and it's really, we all grew up around Sun Prairie, and without it, it was just kind of like every Sunday, you're getting geared to go to Sun Prairie, and it's not there. I mean, it's really cool that it's back, and we're thrilled to be able to race there again.
The Badger Midgets have put together a schedule last year when the Prairie was literally shut down. This year, I think you're racing there 10 times or 11, something like that this summer. How's that gone for you? Or how's that going to plan out? Are you going to be at the Prairie every time the Badger Midgets are there, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so. We plan on running them all if we can. We'll see how everything goes. At my age, I turned 81 this year. And
81?
Or wait a minute, maybe it was 71. It was somewhere in that area, but I never know from Thursday to Monday if I'm going to be around, so.
Well, good thing you had Donnie, the car owner, to keep you in line.
Yeah.
That's a full-time job right there.
Yeah, I need somebody like that,
Donnie, what made you go racing full-time with Kevin Olson? I know Kevin's been a fan favorite forever, but you said, I'm making a commitment, he's my guy.
Well, I grew up in Sun Prairie, going every night. And winning a race there was always a dream. And about 5-6 years ago, I started looking for a car, and I ran into Harlan Kittleson, and we looked together, and Harlan took me under his wing and helped me find a car, and I said, well, here's the deal. You help me with a car, and I'll get a hold of Kevin.
Wow.
And that's where it was. The stars lined up, and this is our fifth season together.
And you guys did bag one in 2019.
July 21st.
That's pretty cool. That's coming up. I mean, we're like a month away from the anniversary of getting another one, so I'm guessing June 27th, the next time the Badger Midgets are at the Prairie, that's getting close to that time to win another one, Kevin, right?
it's pretty cool. You talk about Donnie and I getting together, and of course, he's put together a great group of guys. I mean, I have my crew chief here tonight, Paul Tyler. And a lot of people don't know that he is second cousin to Steve Tyler, the band from Aerosmith, and he spends a lot of time on the road doing some setup with him. And he's working on our car constantly, and we got Mike Hickok from First Supply, and we got all these great guys. When I first met up with Donnie 5 years ago, it's ironically right across the street here. As we look out the windows, we see this fair park.
Yeah.
I was without a ride and pretty much homeless, and I was laying in the parking lot, and just over there, Donnie come walking by, and he recognized me and said, I'm going to try to rehabilitate you, which he has done perfectly. And all of a sudden it all clicked and we're back racing.
Yeah. And I'm glad you wore the shirt you wore. If you cannot see our stream or here at Polly's, it looks to be a brand new Sleepy Trip t-shirt. Your buddy from the 1980s. You actually talked him into racing in Wisconsin for a summer. That had to be pretty cool knowing you guys have known each other for 40, 50 years.
Sleepy, it's kind of sad that Sleepy wasn't around for the Chili Bowl days because he was handmade for the Chili Bowl. I mean, Sleepy was one of them guys that could win anywhere and everywhere, and if it took turning somebody over or whatever, he'd do it. But Sleepy was just custom made for that. And he came to Sun Prairie the first time he ever came there. He ran Morris in the afternoon and won, and then he came up to Sun Prairie. He got there late to qualify, and when he was going to hot lap, I said, "Hey, Sleepy, back then Badger had a 145, I think, cubic inch rule, and the other clubs had like 155." And I said, "Sleepy, you're going to have these guys are going to be mad if you qualify too fast." So he had to switch engines, which he did between hot laps and qualify, and he switched engines and went out and won the race that night. Sleepy was as good as they ever got.
So Sleepy spent the summer racing here. Then Robbie Flock took a turn here. These guys from California wanted to race against the best, and you were among that class. How much fun was it racing them all over the country? And then when they came to Wisconsin, you were, I'm guessing, the pseudo host for a lot of these traveling guys that would come through and play at the Prairie or other places around Wisconsin.
Well, it was fun because, we raced in New Zealand, Australia, and these guys all wanted to come to America, and at the time, I said, well, hey, you can stay at my place, and, they'd spend the summer there, and then, the guys from California, everybody heard about Sun Prairie and Angel Park, so they wanted to come to Angel Park. And, of course, that was a big goal for them. But, things have changed a little bit nowadays. And, of course, I'm 40 years older, but, them memories from them days were great. It was a whole different ball game back then with people, living in their vans and traveling together. Today it doesn't seem to be quite that same type of lifestyle.
Great success with the Wilkie Racers. A lot of other teams had you in their stuff because they knew you could run well and cash checks and have fun doing it. The competition level, I mean, it's never been, I don't think, as good now. There's 29 cars in Badger. We've got a different engine now, but if you could speak to the competition you face every time you race against these guys still, because there's 29 cars the other night signed in. I'm guessing there'll be more as the summer goes on.
Quinn McKay's done a great job with Badger. We were basically at a standstill there, and he's came back, and now they built it up to 29, 30. I think we had 32 cars a couple weeks ago. But, Badger's always been a great club, and right now they're doing well, and pretty hard to beat going to Sun Prairie, no matter what's running there.
And Donnie, I know that means a lot of work for you guys to stay up and keep pace. Now third in the points after that 7th-place run on Sunday. Have you changed much since you started this car owner business as a dream 5 years ago? Is it new stuff every time out? Is it working with the old stuff? Is it a mixture of both? What do you guys prepare with, and how new are your race cars?
It's pretty much basic. It's pretty much basic setup. Just keep on plugging away and stay on top of it. And
keep him wrangled.
Keep him on. Make sure he knows we're supposed to be on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
Yep. We got a good bunch of guys and good sponsorship. And
so who are some of those sponsors you have with you, Donnie?
We've got First Supply, and they've been a great help, and Denny Lamers, and Olson Auto Exchange, and Joe Hogan Farms, and D&D Olson Farms, and Jerry Brookley Auction Service, and just a good bunch of guys.
And Brad Miller said, I'd like to see my friend Donnie. He gets to see you every now and then. Where, at the auction?
Yep. I sold a lot of cars and trucks to Brad over the years, and been good friends.
Well, you got to get bail money because Kevin at some point is going to have to need it.
If I need money, I go see Brad.
There you go.
That's where I go to
if
I need money, yep.
One that he failed to mention is that we had, just a few weeks ago, I coming up to us at the track there and wanted to sponsor us, it's called the Sunbright drive-through marriage counseling, and it's really a great deal because the concept I really enjoyed because the fact that, and it's really starting to skyrocket, and we're fortunate to be able to get that right on our car this early,
Yeah, you're on the cutting edge.
Yeah. We're talking about Donnie, him, Paul, and Lance, and all the guys, they do a meticulous job with this car every week.
Don't forget my wife cleans the panels.
And Deb,
and tires.
Deb's really the boss of the thing. Donnie's
yeah.
kind of a figurehead, but But one good thing is, like, for instance, last week, Donnie's cutting edge on everything. We have this traction control system that we put into the car.
Are we supposed to say this on the radio?
There's not much of a listen.
Oh, okay.
There's
no.
like what?
Yeah, we got people listening now.
30 or 40 people.
In the room.
Oh, okay.
In that half of the room.
Yeah. Well, we got this traction control, and last week it quit. And I'm not trying to make excuses because, I'm old and senile, but. And then, we've done a lot of stuff with fuels, as far as blends and stuff. We've tried a lot of stuff. And I like that. I like the fact that we're experimenting a lot, and it seems to, we were leading the points, and then this traction control went out. But it's really neat to be able with some guy that's really willing to experiment like that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you've all been able to accomplish while racing legally most of the time. If you didn't know, Kevin Olson is an author of Cages Are for Monkeys, the foreword's written by Tony Stewart. You have a couple you want to give away tonight and a couple that you can actually autograph and sell to somebody, right? If they want to come by and buy one?
What?
We're like on a book tour now. I'm trying to help you prop up the book sales.
We've only sold 3 of them.
Well, we can sell another one tonight. You give me one to give away.
Boy, I get another one. I ain't leaving here till we leave.
Yeah.
I mean, till we, it closes.
You need to buy it? You need to sell them then. Well, I'm trying to help you sell some.
Drinks, yeah. Yeah, we'd love to do that. This is a kind of a documentary, and it's kind of like, I don't know, some of them famous books where, it changes the world. You read this book, it's going to change your life. It really is. And it's really good. It's the story of a guy that started out with nothing, and after 70 years, he still has all of that. And, I suggest reading it. There's a lot of good pictures in it. They had to take a lot of them out, but, it's a good book.
I know you missed the Chili Bowl this year, but I know in years past at the Chili Bowl, another way for income for Kevin Olson has been selling T-shirts. That's kind of a big thing now at the Chili Bowl. Everybody wants to sell shirts. You're on the cutting edge of that. The last time you sold your shirts, what were the price points of the shirts you wanted to sell? And then you said I could sell them to you autographed as well. What was the price difference?
Well, I can't remember exactly what we got. I mean, it was way overpriced for what they were worth, but I think it was like $15 for a shirt. If I autographed it, I was willing to make it like $14.79 because I had the Purdue University. I had them actually study this with demographic and stuff. When I signed it, it was worth about 21 cents less. So I had to cut the price on it.
Most guys would have more value, but you just said, hey, that's what the study says, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look what you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of dealing with, when Kevin arrived early, which I'm glad he did, we got to talking, and he said, I've been on the show a while ago, and I went, wait a minute. That reminds me. I still know exactly what happened the last time Kevin Olson and Stan Fox appeared on the show together. We were at the Springdale Inn, 1989-ish, somewhere in there. They're both winning a bunch of races, driving all over the place. Stanley already raced in the Indy 500. And wouldn't you know, as they get up from the table, our friend Daryl Dobbs, who is a lifelong buddy of Kevin, former car owner, track announcer, all sorts of things with these guys, knew it was coming, but I never did. Stanley and Kevin have a way to break up a meeting by stepping on these little sulfur tablets that really smell bad.
They're stink bombs, they call them.
So at racetracks, you knew the driver's meeting was about to be over when you started smelling that, and Kevin would be pointing every which way, like, I don't, but was it that guy? It wasn't me. Was it that guy? So we're at the Springdale Inn, which is a very nice banquet hall when we first started our shoot. And so it's a skirted table, and we're at this table, and Kevin and Stan are done. Well, they were done all right, but they left in a big way. They left a big waif of that Stauffer stuff under the table and walked off. Daryl is hosting the show. He can't go anywhere. I go up there because I'm doing whatever the next segment, and I could not stop crying. So was it you or was it Stan that brought those stink bombs? Because you guys lit off like 4 of those as you left.
Stan Fox was 100% behind all this. I was just on his coattails, and whatever, I said, okay, Stan, I don't think it's a good idea, but we did it. We actually taped some of these in the women's bathroom under the toilet seats, and when they'd sit on them, it would break them, and that was his idea, not mine. But, I've found in life that every day, there's some time in your life, every day, there's where you could use a stink bomb. And I mean, whatever it is, it breaks up the monotony. People, they all love it. They all laugh and have a good time.
No, it's called crying because it smells really bad.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just something that you remember every day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember.
I say that, but I wanted to become a national dealer for them, but it was just hard to get into it. It's kind of like, well, go ahead.
Well, I know Stan's passed on now, but is there still like a supply shortage of those stink bombs, or are you like the only distributor in North America now?
You buy my book,
okay,
and there is a stink bomb available for each book you buy.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got to buy your book tonight, and you get your very own.
We were in California one time. We were racing out in Baylands out there up in by San Francisco, and the night before the race, one thing we always like to do, and for all you little leaguers and young drivers trying to come up, I suggest this. We would always get fallen down drunk before the race. The night before, not the day, of course.
Right, it's all business racing.
We were business, but so we'd always go to a local establishment, or a lot of times we'd go to these arts and entertainment dancing places because we were into dancing, and that kind of learning the cultures and stuff. So we'd go to these places, and a lot of times, the night before, we would try to just get ready for the race and, be geared up for it and everything.
Spread the word, get people involved. Hey, we're coming to race tomorrow. God, you want to come out to the race with us?
Great advertising, and, and the women loved it. I mean, when you go in these arts and entertainment, these women loved us. I mean, they we felt like gods because, I mean, they just enjoyed us for some reason. I mean, it wasn't, we'd always throw money and stuff, or they were funny about dollar bills. We'd give them dollar bills. They loved us, and I thought, well, for auto racing, this is great because here we're promoting auto race, and I just think that the young kids today should be into this rather than this, showing up at the racetrack and thanking your sponsor and everything. Hey, you don't need sponsors. Forget that, You go out and you race, and the best guy wins. You're going to go to Indy right away. You're going to go to NASCAR. Forget all that sponsor stuff. It's nice to have, but you don't need it.
That is the insights. That is Kevin Olson. How would I say it for Donnie Clevin and Kevin Olson for joining us tonight on the show? Guys, thanks. Always a treat. Thank you.
Well, I said that to Roger Penske, and he looked at me like I was from outer space or something. And then, he scratched his head. Roger kind of looked at me, and he said, Kevin, you make a lot of sense. You really do. Would you be interested in coming down, and working in my organization? I said, look, Roger, you don't have enough money right now. Right now, I'm so busy with Badger and everything. I just can't mess with your deal,
I believe every word you just said on the radio. We have it now. We tape it. We actually could see this back, so we can actually go. I learned a lot from Kevin Olson tonight.
This people see
we're live.
this?
Yeah, they're watching it. They're
They
listening.
hear it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole thing. Kevin Olson, Donnie Clevin.
Donnie never told me that.
Yeah, you guys run the radio. Thanks, guys, for coming down. Appreciate it.
Before I leave, I'd like to do a little melody here of a Frank Sinatra did years ago, and I hope you all enjoy it. It'll kind of put you...
Yeah, it's on. It's on. Yep. Yep.
Oh,
ready.
Well, okay. Well, never mind then.
It's on. You're not going to sing?
Oh, well. I was going to do this thing, and I wanted to reflect on a little story here. Years ago, my friend Paul Tyler, who is a direct descendant of Elvis Presley. Did this number years ago in Vegas. And if you'd all join me now, I'd like to do this song that Elvis made famous. And it's... What was the name of that song?
I don't remember.
I think we're out of time, Kevin. We're out of time. We'll have to do it after the show.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind.
All right. The one, the only, Kevin Olson. Thank you, guys.
This is on where people...
Yeah, we're on the... Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
The NTT IndyCar Series Rev Group Grand Prix returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, June 17th through the 20th. An international lineup of drivers takes center stage for this huge weekend of racing presented by American Medical Response. Enjoy fan activities, go-karting, camping, food, and much more. 4 days and 10 action-packed races for the fastest Father's Day weekend you'll experience. Get your print and home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Looking for the green.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the show. We're out of time. We'll see you Saturday, 5 to 6 at the Milwaukee Mile. Back here next Tuesday at Paulie's. Until then, set your DVR, support your local racing, and have at it, racers.